Hey, so my name's Nick, otherwise known as Frostbite Studios on YouTube, and I'm here with my lovely assistant slash roommate Drew, who's on camera. And I put up a video a few months ago of me using the Novation Launchpad with FL Studio, which here I am running on a boot camp partition on my MacBook Pro. And I've been getting a lot of questions from random people about how to use this thing with FL Studio. So I'm gonna lead you guys through how I use it to hopefully ease some of the confusion. I've talked to some people individually through personal messages and stuff, and I actually did a huge forum post in the FL Studio forums, which I've been sending to a lot of people about how it interacts and stuff, and I'm gonna explain that more in detail right here. I should probably stop with the intro because I hate when I'm watching videos for music gear or pedals and stuff, and they have a long intro. Anyway, first off, to get the lights on, I use a program called Katapult, spelled with a K, K-A-T-A-P-U-L-T. You can get it at MIDIcatapult.com. Launch that shit, and it looks like this. So it'll launch up like that, and you can customize layouts in a text pad, and it's really simple. You say these are organized by grid. You say button 00, which is this button. You tell it to be a button or a switch, and you tell it what color to be in each state. This is a main layout that I'll use. One way to control first off, to explain how FL Studio interacts with this thing, it doesn't see it as these lights. It basically just sees this as a grid of buttons, and each button corresponds to a note. A lot like this. This is Drew's M-Audio Key Studio. Each one of these is a note. If you were to plug it into FL Studio, each one of these would correspond to a note. So, to exemplify that, I want to open up let's do a fruity, I always take forever trying to find exactly what I'm looking for here. FL Keys, alright. Go over here to just this one. This is what I use whenever I'm using synthesizers, because the lights have almost nothing to do with how FL Studio interacts. It goes completely off of what these notes are. So each one of those, including this button, and these ones up here, don't do it, I don't think. They're just really low. Fuck, I don't know what I just did. I literally never hit these buttons, so. Alright, give me a sec.
It looks pretty cool, though.
It does look pretty cool. I'm going to relaunch. Alright. So like I was just showing you, each one of those corresponds to a note, and they're chromatic. But the problem, and you can find pictures online that show the layout of the notes. It'll just have this grid, and it'll show what each of these standard notes are. The problem with it is that then it'll jump. There's no real logic to how they chose what notes went to which, because I don't know, there's no real logic to it, so you sort of have to, when you're using this with FL Studio, the way that I do it, I'm sure with Novation's Auto Mapper stuff, I've heard that you can customize it more in depth, kind of the way that it interacts with Ableton Live. But the way that I do it, you have to map this around how FL Studio would interact with these keys. So FL Studio has certain protocols where, the white keys will do certain things, the black keys will do certain things within the program, depending on what usage you're using. So if we're using this with a synthesizer, first off, you'd probably want to get a keyboard so that you can use it effectively. But if you do want to use it with a synthesizer and look cool, that's what you can do. Each one corresponds to a note, and to an extent you can play it. Now, if I want to assign these, I have these four up here, which are meant for effects. I literally just want these four need to be buttons, and, yeah, then it's really easy to assign those. You could go to the mixer, and let's go ahead and run our keys through track 1, and then let's put on a delay, or no, a reverb, just because it's right there. Alright, so, you can hear the reverb. If I want to have that reverb mute on and off, I'm going to hit that button, which multi-link to controllers. I'm going to hit it there, and then I'm going to hit the button that I want to link to, which is that one. So now, as you can see, as I'm hitting this, and I have this set in Katapult to go between orange and green, you can see on screen, as I hit it, it switches between being muted and unmuted. There you go. You know, that's a really effective, simple way to control your effects. Now, the way the FL Studio looks at this is if it's a white key, it's going to hold it, or like you'll hit it once and it'll turn off completely. It'll switch on and off basically when you hit it. And then if it's a black key, you have to hold it to turn it on. So as you can see, this is a white key. The actual note is I can't see right now, but there's a grid online. Like I said, there's a picture online that'll show you what notes these are. This is a white key. As you can see, when I'm hitting this, it'll switch on and off with it. If I relink this one right here, same reverb, to this button, which is a black key, as you can see, I figured this out already, and I've set it so that it holds rather than it switches. That's become a note now since I reassigned it. You can see that that just as that only turns green when I have my finger down, that will only turn green as I have my finger down. So there's all sorts of little ways that you can find your way around how to program these. Like if I'm ever performing live and I have an electronic song that I'm doing live in FL Studio, and I want to have an effect that I just trigger by holding it, I'll assign it to that key. So, you know, like a bar, I'll have a phaser on, and then I can pull it off easily. Or if I want for a whole section to have a delay on it, for like one, you know, however you have it mapped in FL Studio, I can turn that on and it'll keep the delay on for a long time. That is a lot of a mouthful. What time are we at?
7 minutes.
7 minutes?
10 seconds.
Alright, that'll be the first part. That's part one, because I don't want to go over by accident. So I'm going to upload a second video, and I think I'm going to also, once I get the video off of a camera, I'm going to upload a video of my band using this live, you know, with drums and guitars and shit, in sequence. We just have our drummer listen to headphones, and I'll show you guys how I do that, and I'll explain more of what different things that I do with this. So there you go. All right.